Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and this is day 17 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Today's protein source is going to be sardines, and today is a chest training workout. And the theme for today's workout is assisted PNF stretching. So right now, I'm going to be demonstrating how to perform contract relax PNF stretching. Now let's get started. And while we were resting, let's continue with our PNF demonstration on the knee flexors. We've already done straight flexion and we've done flexion when the foot is abducted out 30 degrees. Now we're going to move out a little bit more. We're going to go into abduction of 60 degrees, but we're still targeting the knee flexors. So we're flexing on an angle. With this one right over here, there's a couple different options with regard to the hand positions. Depending on the size of the patient, you could either place the Achilles on your shoulder or you could let it rest in the crook of your elbow. It's going to depend on the size of the patient. Right now, Johnny is a little bit too small, so for him, I would have to rest it on my shoulder to get to that 60-degree angle. But what I would do is I would lean out, I would push out, and then I would have him contract. So he would push into me on the inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to lean, go back into the stretch. Again, if you prefer, you could do the old way. So you could just have one hand on the distal femur, you could have one hand on the calcaneus, and then you would lift out, and then on a 60-degree angle, you're going to go into flexion. And then they would inhale, push the heel into you. On the exhale, lean out, and then take them deeper into the stretch. When we are focusing on flexion of the hip with 60 degrees of abduction, what's going to happen is we're starting to get more and more into the semimembranosus, because again, the semimembranosus is the most medial. So the more we take them into abduction, the more we're going to be targeting the semimembranosus. We're also going to be getting the semitendinosus, but not quite as much. And with regard to the biceps femoris, you're going to be getting very, very little in this position. You're still going to be targeting both heads. You're going to be getting the long and short head of the biceps femoris, but it's going to be a lot less than you're going to be getting from the semimembranosus and from the semitendinosus. We're also going to be getting the gastrocnemius, both the medial and lateral head, but once again, most of it is going to be the medial head because of the orientation of the foot. We're also hitting the Sartorius as well. And then some other muscles that are going to be involved, we're going to be getting a little bit of stretch in the popliteus. And to some extent, we're going to be getting a little bit in the gracilis and the plantaris. Next, what we want to do is we are going to go with the leg abducted to 90 degrees. So for this one, we're still focusing on the knee flexors, but now we're taking them straight out. And for this one, the way that I like to do it is I like to anchor. So I will have one hand stabilizing on the distal tibia on the dorsal surface. And then what I will do is I will lean out and I will take them out this way with the toes pointing out. So they will inhale, push into me, exhale, I will lean back, take them deeper into the stretch. If you prefer, you could use that old hand position, and this time you could use an underhand grip. So you could place both hands under, you would go traction, take them out, then they would go ahead and take the knee, they would press the foot into you, so come closer to the midline, and then you would exhale, and on the exhale, you take them deeper into the stretch. With regard to this one right over here, now we're focusing on the knee flexors as well as the adductors. And because the hip is out completely to 90 degrees, the primary muscles we're going to be targeting, most it's going to be the semimembranosus because of the way that the orientation is. Again, it's the most medial, so we're going to be getting a lot of semimembranosus stretch in this one. We're also going to be getting a little bit of semitendinosus and a little bit of the biceps femoris, but not too much. Both of the heads, though, the long and short head of the biceps femoris, but most of it is going to be coming from the semimembranosus. And same thing with the gastrocnemius. We're going to be targeting both the lateral and medial head, but most of the action is coming from the medial head. A little bit of stretch is going to be happening in the lateral head. We're also getting the Sartorius, and to a minimal extent, we're going to be getting a little bit of popliteus and very little in the gracilis and the plantaris. But our rest period is up. Time for the 7th and final set. That was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.